Scruton is a place both typical and exceptional. There's a village hall and a pub here, but no traditional war memorial because the local men who served in the First World War all came back alive. That's fact marked for many years only by the clock on the church tower installed in 1921. That was until 2004 when Janet Crampton read about other thankful villages and fought to have Scruton included. This plaque in the church is now a clearer show of gratitude after perhaps feelings of shame a century ago.
Everywhere else, villagers were raising war memorials to their glorious dead. And we probably were rather sensitive to that and kept a little bit quiet about things.
It's now thought there were 13 men from the village who went away to war, including the 4 Kemp brothers. Fred joined up at 18 and was with the Royal Field Artillery.
This is his whistle.
His great-great-granddaughter has now been born 100 years after the war's end when he returned home to marry. His family have many of his wartime possessions, including the medals he was awarded for his courage in one operation at the start of November 1918.
He'd been hit by shrapnel in his helmet, which did pierce his head, and he carried on firing till the end of the barrage. So just really proud of him. And of course we wouldn't be here if he hadn't have done that and have come home again.
Fred's story has been part of an exhibition on Scruton during the war.
Short periods of leave are marked.
Virginia Arrowsmith led the research and said survivors' service should not be forgotten.
They had been through all those experiences and the horror of the war, much as those who didn't survive the conflict. So I'm really pleased to be able to highlight those men and their stories and their experiences.
There's a permanent reminder now too on the edge of the village. Scruton Station has been restored over the last few years as a First World War heritage centre. This is where the village's men, including 2 of the station master's own sons, left from when they enlisted. And several years later, this is where each of them arrived home, most in 1919 having been demobbed in the months after the end of the war.
It may be forever we part, little girl, or maybe for only a while.
Of course, nobody knew Scruton would end the war unscathed.
And the note, Mum.
The experiences, particularly of soldiers' loved ones back here, inspired a play called The Thankful Village.
It really started here, and then I went out to Ypres and did a lot of research into the background of the whole wartime story, and honed in on writing something from a very female perspective.
This is me, married for 4 years and never seen Tommy for more than 7 weeks since he left.
This was one of 2 sold-out nights in Scruton on the North Yorkshire Theatre Company's current tour.
Commemorating the end of the First World War has been tremendous because it's actually brought the village together.
A year of events here will climax this weekend with church services and armistice parties. The 2 men from Scruton who died during the Second World War are among those honoured in a field of remembrance. And new signs are in place ready for the centenary of the First World War's end. This village is now proud as well as thankful and determined to remember the sacrifices of the fallen as well as those who came home safely. Tom Sheldrick, ITV News in Scruton.